This video, y'all, right here. My phone's fully charged, ready to go, so I'm ready to do this reaction video.
I probably won't get back on brand risk because you tampering with the bets.
Never that. Never that. I don't know what he's talking about. Every fighter got paid after brand risk. Every fighter. Everybody's paid. Except
Blueface, why you getting tattooed up for? Like, why you getting tattooed up for? What is what you getting all these tattoos in your face? Every rapper you know is like tattooed up. Except Rocky's not tattooed up. Well, he probably got a tattoo on his arm or leg somewhere. So a YouTuber and a rapper are having drama. This is so pathetic. A YouTuber and a rapper. Yo, how many YouTube and rapper rivalries we had so far in general? How many YouTuber versus rapper we had so far in general? I know we had some. I know we did. No, it's just big YouTubers get their names out there and they become like main celebrities. You know, they're big, but they get popular from an app for people watching them instead of like music and all that stuff.
why? Because you can't go around saying that it's rigged. He is probably one of the worst people to ever work with when it comes to business ever.
Adin, I got a bet for you. I bet you can't show nowhere where Blueface said rain bet or brand risk rigged anything.
So yeah, we have been talking about the brand risk boxing event all week, but let's be real, this thing is still the hottest topic right now. Drama just keeps stacking up from this one event, and it is not slowing down at all. Now it has turned into the biggest clash yet, and this one is serious. It is between the man running the whole show, Adin Ross, and the headline rapper who stepped in the ring, Blueface. Things went left almost instantly after the fight ended, and you could feel the tension right away. The judges came back with a unanimous decision, handing the win to Chibu, and that basically means it was not even close at all. Every single judge had Chibu winning clearly. No debate, no confusion, just a straight sweep. But Blueface was not feeling that outcome one bit, not even a little. So when Adin Ross pulled up for the post-fight interview and asked if Blueface would ever return to brand risk, that is when everything exploded. Blueface did not hold back. He straight up said he would probably never come back, and then took it even further by accusing Adin of rigging the fights because of gambling. Yeah, he really said that out loud, and now things are getting messy fast.
How can we get you back in here, bro? Can we see you back in brand risk?
Hey, you know damn well you ain't gonna lose your own money on your own fight card. I definitely wouldn't score that in unanimous decision. I'd give it 4-2. But hey, shout out to brand risk.
Shout out to brand risk. And Blue, if you do get back on brand risk, do you want a rematch or who do you want to fight?
What is brand risk? What is that? Is this some kind of boxing thing? Well, why would you call it brand risk? What is brand risk? What is that?
I probably won't get back on brand risk because you tampering with the bets.
Never that. Never that. I don't know what he's talking about.
Now, as you can see, Adin was
And
not
stop
feeling that
picking your
response
nose.
from
It's
Blueface at all,
disgusting.
not even a little. And honestly, you can understand
Get punched
why
in the face.
he's trying to build something big
Stupid.
here and put real weight behind this
Okay,
event.
he's stupid. I
He's
don't
putting
care.
this whole thing together
No,
from the
Adin's a king
ground
of
up,
sus comedy,
trying
too.
to turn brand risk into something serious. So when your main event fighter, and easily the biggest
No,
name to
Adin's
ever
a
step on that
king like
stage,
susness.
comes out and says you are rigging fights,
He
that
probably
is a
done
terrible
doing it.
look.
Probably
It
best
hits
man
even harder
personally,
when you
y'all.
remember the whole event is backed by a gambling sponsor. That just makes everything look way more suspicious than it already is. And it did not stop at just one comment either. Not even close. Blueface kept going again and again. He was pushing the same claim nonstop. Whether he was on stream talking to viewers or posting on his socials, he kept saying the event was rigged, like he wanted everyone to hear it loud and clear. At that point, it was not just a quick reaction anymore. It turned into a full-on narrative he was running with, and things started getting way more intense by the minute.
Let's go look at the press conferences. Adin is more confident than his own fighter. How that works out doesn't make any sense. You must know something we don't know. If you're more confident than your own fighter. But we'll let him
More
explain, Chad.
confident, double down. Wait,
If
what?
what I'm saying is not true, feel me? You won't care to address it, right? That's how life works, Chad.
Blueface, you always something like this?
Somebody says that I'm
He always did,
Chad,
bro.
I won't care to address it because it's not true. Now, if it were true, I would over-explain myself and try to get you guys to believe that it's not.
His voice changed, definitely, then.
That's what
Yeah.
Adin's doing right
Who
now.
gives a... Can we not use the poop emoji all the time, please? In these comments, please. Thank you.
Because he's receiving the real conversation. He didn't play it off good enough.
Now, on top of calling out the owner over the gambling situation,
The
Blueface also
Hollywood
started talking
fix?
about the money
What
he
the
made from the
fudge?
fight and that
What
grabbed
do
a lot of
Hollywood fish
attention real
besides
quick.
drug?
He did not give a super clear breakdown or
Nothing.
anything detailed. But when someone in the chat asked him straight up how much he got paid, he dropped a number that had people shocked. He said
It's sad to see a YouTuber hang out with Donald Trump. It's really sad.
he made over $300,000, and that right there got everyone talking
Corey
even
Country
more.
would never.
That number started spreading fast, and it just added another layer to all the drama already building around this whole event.
It's not. Boxing is the sport comes with losses.
True. That's true. I give him that. But boxing, you lose some, you win
How much
some.
did I make on the fight? Oh, I ain't gonna tell you how much I made, but I'll tell you that I made over 300,000. I'll let you guess from there. And that's just for the fight. That's not even including nothing else.
Now, yeah, that answer about the money was pretty vague. He never gave an exact number. But it turns out
Who's
that
richer,
comment
Adin
might
Ross
have
or
caused way
Blueface?
more
Like, who's
problems than
richer?
people first thought. A few days later, Adin
Let
Ross
me do some research. Hang on. Look at this, y'all. Adin Ross is significantly richer than Blueface as of 2026. Okay, well, in that case, we know. Well, you know who could say he's richer now?
than people first thought. A few days later, Adin Ross went live, and you could tell right away he was not in a good mood when it came to Blueface. He had some strong words, and he was not holding anything back during that stream. While he was live, Adin told everyone that Blueface was getting hit with a $100,000 fine for breaking the contract, and he made it clear there were multiple reasons behind it. This was not just one small issue.
I highlight this
He was
emoji.
stacking up claims one after another. One of the main things Adin pointed out was that Blueface had agreed to wear a RainBet sponsor on his shorts during the fight. But when it was actually time to step in the ring, that sponsor was nowhere to be seen. And according to Adin, that alone counted as a direct breach of contract. Then he added another issue on top of that. Adin said fighters are not supposed to talk about how much they are getting paid. And even though Blueface did not give a super exact number, he still mentioned making over $300,000. And according to Adin, that crossed the line too, and counted as another contract violation.
There's actual contractual obligation that he didn't follow, so he breached. He was supposed to wear a rain patch on his shorts. He didn't. And he's going to have to pay $100,000 for that. Breached another confidential, like he can't.
A rainbow. You tell him to wear a rainbow on his clothes, patch on his shorts. Why I wear a rainbow? I don't think Blueface go that way. I'm just saying. Y'all, I met a cashier at $50 yesterday. Like, obviously he was gay, or like just, I don't know what his pronouns were. I don't know if it's like, oh, well, he wasn't gay unless he was. Like, I talked to one of my bosses at work about this earlier today, a little bit about it, not fully about it. He like asked me what did I say. Talk about it earlier this word today with my bosses. His name started with L. I ain't gonna say his real name. I ain't gonna say his name, but he's probably watching me. I don't know. But because I told my boss I was close enough to hear him. I was close enough to him for him to hear me. Listening to him. But I was like close. I was close enough to the cashier. So we would find out it's the one by find out like little out of town, one by like kind of by like McDonald's, by the Chase's, the Buchanan's Mink, whatever. But like he was close enough by me to hear me. The cashier, his name is May. For like May, he or she over pronouns. His pronouns are. I don't judge sexuality, so I'm trying to be respectful as much as like most respectful as possible. I ain't different scared about different sexuality. I'll take all y'all on. With an army of my own. I ain't scared. But he was close enough to hear me, so I felt like he was just wanting a different answer. Oh, it's really didn't hear me, but he's close enough to hear me. Unless he's like zoned out a little bit, I don't know. But I like say, "Have a good day, sir." He like, huh? Like, what'd you say? What'd you say? I said, "Have a good day." I watched that little awkward, then I was like, "Oh, whatever. I don't care." Like, if I mentioned you, mentioned you by accident, it was by accident. Whatever, dude. I'm not gonna stressing about it. Whatever. Whatever. But accidents happen. Whatever. Who cares?
Speak about anything, money, how much you got paid or whatnot. And we asked him to retract his statements, and he didn't. We gave him some time. We didn't want to do it. Now we're gonna do it.
Why the straight man got wearing a rainbow patch on his shorts though, Adin? Weirdo.
Yeah, we tried. We tried working with him, and Whack, and they weren't really with it. And they didn't.
Why
want
the
to
straight
work with us,
man?
so
he got to wear a hood,
sucks.
a rainbow patch on his
But,
shorts though. The straight man. Why would you want that?
We tried. I literally wanted to pay him multiple times. You could ask Ack. Every fighter got paid after Brand Risk. Every fighter. Everybody's paid except him. Why? Because you can't go
He
around
can make
saying
more
that
music to get more
shit's
money off of
rigged.
that. Like, You know, he may be a
And you
controversial
cannot wear
person
a
or whatever
rainbow
he.
patch on your shorts when you contractually sign an obligation.
Why do you straight men got rainbow patches on their shorts? Blueface he can make more money. I hate to say about a rapper, but he can make more money by making new songs. Like he can do that way instead of just doing this whatever he's doing with Adin, whatever's going on with Adin, whatever.
And yeah, you can't talk about how much you're paying or being paid. So yeah, it sucks because he is probably one of the worst people to ever work with when it comes to business ever.
Now this is where everything really started falling apart fast. What was already messy turned into a full-blown back and forth between Adin Ross, Blueface, and his manager, Whack 100. And this was going on all day across social media. There was so much happening all at once, it honestly became hard to keep track of every little detail. So instead of over-explaining every single piece, it makes more sense to go through it step by step and react to as it all unfolded, because there is a lot to unpack here. So let's get into it. Once that clip of Adin talking about the contract breaches started going viral,
Let's do this.
Blueface jumped on Twitter and fired back. He said, "Looking for a way not to pay is not a good look. I'm gonna get mines regardless." And yeah, that right there instantly got people talking. Now, it is not fully clear if that was meant as a warning or just him speaking confidently.
He posted that Twitter tweet 10 days ago. Oh my.
The tweet blew up and pulled in around 1 million views. That is a lot of attention, and not the kind you want when your event is already under pressure. You have to remember, Blueface is the biggest name that has stepped into a brand risk ring so far. So when he is out here publicly saying things like this, it starts planting doubt in people's minds.
Biggest name when it comes to this little Adin Ross project that was going on. That means the biggest name that was going on here. The biggest name so far? Oh gosh, that means he has some power there.
Other fighters could easily look at this situation and think they are not handling business right. They might not pay properly, and that could push them away from ever getting involved. That is where things start getting dangerous for the whole brand, because reputation matters a lot in situations like this. But Adin was not about to stay quiet. He responded directly to Blueface and called him unintelligent, and then doubled down on his position. Adin said that if Blueface simply took back what he said about the event being rigged, he would have been paid in full. No issue at all. And just like that, the situation went from tense to full-on chaotic, with both sides standing firm and nobody backing down. He also came at Blueface telling him to take accountability, saying he needs to act like a grown man and own what happened. Adin made it clear, in his view, Blueface lost the fight and then broke the contract he agreed to, and that is on him, nobody else. He doubled down and basically said, "Do not sign a contract if you are not going to follow it. That is just how it works. Simple as that." Then he wrapped it up by saying everyone else got paid quickly with no issues at all. But Blueface was the only one who did not. And according to him, it all comes back to those contract breaches. Adin kept pushing the same point too, saying if Blueface would just drop the tough guy act and take back what he said about the event being rigged, he would have already been paid in full. That was his stance, clear and direct. Now when it comes to that response, yeah, Adin was talking pretty wild, no question. But at the same time, you can kind of see where he is coming from. Saying the event was rigged is a serious claim, and that can damage everything he is trying to build. But on the flip side, dragging all of this across social media and letting it get this messy is also a bad look for brand risk. It makes the whole situation feel unorganized, and like business is not being handled behind the scenes the way it should be. And like I said before, that kind of image can easily scare off other fighters who might have been thinking about joining in the future. But this was not the end of it, not even close. Blueface jumped back in and responded again, and he was not backing down at all. He said he never actually revealed how much he was paid and claimed the excuses being made were starting to look obvious. He also pushed back on the contract claims, saying he was never required to wear a sponsor patch in the first place. And even if that $100,000 fine was real, he made it clear that it still would not come close to what he believes he is owed. And he kept it going, saying why would he even retract his statement if he never got paid what he feels he is owed.
Y'all, what day was March 20th? What day was March 20th? March 20th was a Friday, y'all. 2:37 p.m. I've been home by then. Clocked out from work, already been home chilling, you know, whatever.
That just proves his whole point that the situation was bad business from the start. He then brought up something that happened before the event even kicked off, saying the problems actually began about a week earlier. According to him, they switched his opponent last minute, but still kept the original fighter on the card, and that did not sit right with him at all. Now, for some context, Blueface was originally supposed to fight Chicago rapper Ruga, and that matchup actually made a lot of sense on paper. You had Chicago versus LA, both rappers, both with a name. It had hype written all over it. But even though that fight got scrapped, Ruga still showed up and fought on the brand risk card anyway. He ended up going against K-Mac the Great, who is out of LA, so the switch definitely raised some eyebrows. From what is being said, the reason for the change was that the commission stepped in.
Only donated
Oh my gosh, hang on. The wrong button, y'all. Let me get this here. Get this out the way. I ain't showing up with nobody.
against K-Mac the Great, who is out of LA, so the switch definitely raised some eyebrows. From what is being said, the reason for the change was that the commission stepped in and decided the skill levels between Ruger and Blueface were too far apart for it to be approved as an official fight. So just like that, the original matchup got shut down, and everything started shifting before the event even began.
Ruga, where you at, Ruga?
I'm here.
Ruga, you were supposed to fight Blueface.
Yeah.
Blue, he was supposed to fight you. I wanted that fight to happen. It didn't happen because they said you're inexperienced and don't have that much boxing experience at all. So, but I would have loved to see that fight happen. If that fight were to have happened, what do you think would have happened, Ruga, between you and Blue?
I mean, it's only one way to find out.
And I would love to make that fight eventually happen. Blue, eventually, I know you were down for it, but eventually, after this bout, would you like to fight Ruga?
Hell yeah, let's do it.
All right.
I feel like they probably thought I was gonna hit him too hard.
That's what it was?
I think that's what it was.
Okay.
And that is what led to Ruger being replaced by Boo for the fight. But here is where things started looking a little strange. Even though that original matchup fell apart, Ruger was still kept on the card anyway. Usually when a fight gets canceled like that, the opponent is completely off the event and moved somewhere else. But that did not happen here at all. Instead, Ruger stayed on the card, got matched up with someone seen as a lower skill opponent, and ended up winning that fight. That whole situation is a big reason why Blueface keeps calling this bad business, because from his point of view, none of it really made sense. Then things started getting messy in the comments too. Blueface began replying to people going back and forth, and at one point he brought up that clip of himself talking about how much money he made, which people had already seen. But then he posted another clip, this time of Adin talking about how much money he made from a brand risk stream. And honestly, that clip did not really connect to the situation the way he might have thought. In that video, Adin
People been on YouTube for a long time here. Oh my gosh.
was just speaking on how much the live stream generated while he was live, not anything about fighter pay or contracts. So it kind of left people confused about what point Blueface was trying to make there. Meanwhile, the comments kept pressing him about the money, and he responded again trying to clear it up. He said he never gave an exact number, but he did say he made over $300,000, which lines up with what people heard before.
Zesty humor,
so even
like,
that part of the situation kept
you
getting
probably
debated,
a gay guy around
adding
like trying to
even
flirt
more
with you,
noise
try
to
to
an
touch on you,
already
and you got
chaotic
awkward about it.
situation. I do not know.
Stop
The way he
being
answered that
pretty
money
for Cam,
question still
for the
felt pretty
camera.
vague. He said over $300,000, but that could mean a lot of different things. It could be $300,000, $500,000, maybe even $1 million or more. Nobody really knows for sure.
I don't know about that.
It was not a clear number, but apparently that still did not sit right with them. Then Blueface kept things going and fired off another tweet, taking a shot at Adin Ross. He said, "You've been doing this, buddy," and attached a screenshot talking about a class action complaint involving Steak, Drake, and Adin Ross. Now to clear that up, this was not Steak suing Adin or Drake or anything like that. It was actually someone else filing a complaint that included all three of them. That detail matters, because the way it was posted could easily confuse people.
Yeah, I heard my thing. You know what would matter if you stick to the agreement you had in general with somebody, like a positive outcome agreement. You guys don't try to manipulate each other. Also, wherever we're going with Kai, he gets come. Somebody need to help him. Also, whether if Ray's going to do controversy in the future, or Ray going to trip right now, like I don't know if Ray got some controversies. I don't know about Ray from Continental. I want to know him because I bet you guys know. I bet he's still learning English. Still, I can definitely tell he's Asian though. I can kind of see it. He's got Asian. I can definitely tell he's Asian. Like Rakai, if he's getting worse and worse, I don't know. I don't think he'd be worse than Jack Dorby. I don't know. Because somebody calls McLaren on his McLaren on the phone. Yeah, Jack, he sucks.
But even with that, the post itself did not really connect to what was going on with Brand Risk. It had nothing to do with the boxing event, nothing to do with fight results, and nothing directly tied to claims about fights being rigged. The complaint was focused on allegations that Stake US operates as an online gambling platform that may not meet certain legal requirements, saying it violates federal and Virginia state law. That is a completely separate issue from what Blueface was arguing about. So again, it left people wondering what point he was really trying to make. It looked more like he was trying to reinforce this overall narrative around Adin Ross and gambling, even if the connection was not direct. And just when it seemed like things could not get more heated, Whack 100 stepped in. Blueface's manager took it to Instagram and made a post of his own, and he did not hold back at all. In that post, he straight up called Adin Ross a liar, adding even more fuel to an already intense situation. He went even further and said he would bet $1 million that Adin would not be able to show a contract to back up what he was saying. That is a bold claim, and it instantly made things even more intense. Now, the claim he is talking about connects to something pretty wild that started circulating. On the left side, there was what people were calling a pre-written PR apology message, something Adin Ross and his team allegedly put together for Blueface to post. The idea was simple. Blueface would post this message, clean everything up publicly, and walk back the claims about the fight being rigged. And the message itself was very direct. It said, "I said a few things over the weekend that I wanted to address and clear up. I was heated after the loss, and I said Brand Risk and Adin Ross rigged the fights and misled the people. That's of course not true, and I don't have any proof of it, even if I disagree with the Florida Athletic Commission's decision. This has nothing to do with Brand Risk or Adin. I should have never said that, and I want to take it back. I also want to clarify the whole payment situation. My management got me some sponsorships and appearances, and with those I made over $300,000. Adin and Brand Risk did not pay me anywhere near $300K a box. That event was legit. So yeah, that message was basically a full reset of everything Blueface had been saying. It clears Adin, clears the event, and puts the blame back on frustration after the fight. And according to what was being shared, Adin followed that up by asking, "Is this okay?" and mentioned having an agreement ready. So the understanding
That's worth reacting to, though.
was, if Blueface posted that apology and corrected the record, then the payment situation would be handled right after. That right there is what made the whole situation feel even more serious, because now it is not
what
just
can go down
accusations
is
and
really
tweets
drama.
anymore. It starts looking like
This whole thing
negotiations
going on,
happening in
I'm
public,
hearing
and both
What
sides
I'm
are
hearing
trying
about
to
it sounds
control
like
the
a lot more
narrative
drama
at the
from what I'm
same
hearing.
time. And that is where Whack 100 stepped in.
Yeah,
again.
keep showing Adin being zesty, because a lot of gay guys will come up to him and start sexually touching him, and he's gonna stop doing it for the rest of his life. Stop doing the zesty humor. Because I want him to see the video of his of his behavior. That way he can stop. Don't play gay guy for fun if you ain't really gonna be into it. I'm sorry, he was to say that. No, stop acting like you're gay, because people get too what's that called? Convinced, and it'd be like a starboard in their brain saying, "Yeah, you're gay for real, for real." I mean, let's still or ignore those comments. Actually, still play around and just ignore those comments, and just continue playing around, be yourself. Honestly, actually do that. But if you go too far, yeah, a lot of people think you actually gay for real.
Making it clear that none of this apology stuff was ever part of the original contract. He is basically saying there was never any agreement that Blueface had to apologize just to receive his payment. That was never on paper, never discussed like that. So once again, you can see both sides building their case, and neither one is backing down at all. It is turning into a situation where each side feels like they are completely in the right. Now, looking at it from Adin's side, you can kind of understand the frustration. When Blueface goes online and says he made over $300,000, even if it is vague, that number spreads fast. Then other fighters start looking at that and thinking, if he got that, I should be getting way more, and that can seriously mess up future negotiations. Imagine trying to book an even bigger name, someone more popular. Now they are coming in expecting huge numbers right away. That can throw off the whole business structure.
You got Adin in underwear. He's definitely zesty. Want to do all that with another dude.
Nobody wants to be publicly accused of rigging fights or being involved in anything questionable with gambling. Those are serious claims, and even without proof, they can damage the brand quickly. But then you flip it to Blueface's side, and you can see his perspective too. He trained for the fight, put in the work, had a full camp, paid for trainers, and everything that comes with it. So from his view, he just wants to be paid what he believes he earned. Simple as that. Now, instead of getting paid clean, he feels like new conditions are being added after the fact. And that is where the frustration really starts to build. So yeah, this is one of those situations where both sides feel justified, and that is exactly why it keeps getting more heated instead of cooling off. And Whack 100 was not done either. He kept going on Instagram, posting more and more about the situation. And now we have this next video that he put out, and we are about to check that out together.
Hey, I got a bet for you. I bet you can't show nowhere where Blueface said rain bet or brand risk rigged anything. You can show me 2-3 places where he said you as an individual that tampered with things, and I just showed you why he's thinking these things. I don't know if your partners know that you're saying these things and doing these things. Maybe you need to slow down. Maybe you're moving so fast and you know what's happening for you so fast that you feel like you untouchable, but I didn't see no untouchable get touched in this business. We're gonna call a spade a spade. January, third week of January, you couldn't bet. Rain bet, brand risk. A month later, not even 3 weeks later, March 14th, you ready to bet 180 grand with DDG. You bet 20 grand. 1 minute you saying you can't. Did the rules change from January to March, or where you said you get in trouble if you place a bet and this, that? Or was it that possibly, maybe you had something, maybe possibly you had something going on? Now you wondering why Blueface is thinking you rigged the bet, you rigged the fight. So listen, never one time did he say brand risk. He said you, Adin.
I'm not gonna lie, that part was a little confusing. Because I am not really sure what WAC 100 was trying to get at there. From everything we know, Adin Ross is the owner of Brand Risk. He is the one running the whole operation. Yeah, there are sponsors involved, like before it was Stake, and now it is Rainbet. And those deals help fund the event and payouts. But at the end of the day, Adin is still the one in control of Brand Risk itself. So that point WAC was making did not fully land the way he probably wanted. Then there is this whole angle about betting, which just made things even more messy. Adin has said before that he does not bet on the fights. And now, suddenly, there are claims being thrown around saying the opposite. That contradiction is what people started locking in on right away. The full video WAC posted was about 3 minutes long, but honestly, you could already catch the main idea early on. No need to go through every second, because the message was clear. He was trying to poke holes in Adin's side and raise more questions. But instead of slowing things down, this only made everything worse later that same night. Because then Academics jumped into the mix on his stream, and that is when things really started heating up again. He began listening to both sides, reacting in real time, and adding his own input to the situation. And when someone like him gets involved, you already know it is about to bring even more attention and even more opinions into the situation.
Adin says, you know what? If you think I'm lying so much, not only will I sign a piece of paper, I'll even have rain bets.
Probably on YouTube, yeah.
I'm going to send you half of what you're supposed to get from my own bank account. I'll send it. That's the guarantee that if he... So once you sign the paper that he's going to get on stream and say whatever, and remember, you're just saying that you never meant that Rainbet is fixing fights. So Adin's going to pay him half of his personal money. And I'm like,
okay, he's boring. Next question, please.
WAC then says, we want a little bit more than half. He throws on like an extra, I won't say the amount, but I was like, all right, bet. I was like, but Adin's like, all right, I'll do that. So we have a deal. It feels like a LeBron trade, right? We have a deal, in principle. The deal is Adin's going to give half his money, half of the purse that Blueface was earned or owed to Blueface. He's going to sign this little deal thing to say, I am going to clarify that I never meant, even if I insinuated or said, that Rainbet fixed my fight. And then I'll get the other half after the stream. I get that deal. WAC says yes. I say, all right, cool. Adin, go hit your lawyer. Adin hits his lawyer. I think they have an offline conversation because I think Adin's lawyer sent him stuff and he sent it directly to WAC. WAC calls me back and says, we ain't doing this. All that for nothing.
This guy's getting real boring. I'm gonna put high people in the comments here. I'm gonna put some high.
Okay, so I see why. Like, I was really irritated in the last night for him. But I realized this is part of their this is how they communicate with each other. So I'm gonna fall back on
I'm gonna put that. Anyway, let's continue with this.
All that for nothing. Essentially, he tells Adin, if the statement that y'all prepared for me to say, if I say that would, or if Blue says that would be killing his reputation. That would he would just have no more, people would look at him like he's done, like out of here. So he says he's not.
My glasses are dirty, yo.
I'm trying to get y'all money. I have no horse in the race.
Now, looking at it from
Thank
that
you,
angle,
Clip.
you can kind of understand why Blueface did not want to walk everything back. If you come out strong, saying all of this publicly, accusing the event of being rigged, and then suddenly switch up and apologize for everything, it can hit your image. Even if people know it is just PR, it still feels like a full reversal. And yeah, people see PR statements from celebrities and athletes all the time. And most of the time, nobody really cares because everyone knows it is managed behind the scenes. So, in that sense, what Adin was asking for was not anything new or unheard of. It was basically a standard cleanup move. Fix the narrative, smooth things over, and keep the business moving. But at the same time, because it is tied to Adin Ross, and this specific situation, Blueface might have felt like it would make him look weak or like he is backing down. That could be why he did not want to post that statement at all. And that lines up with what Adin was saying too. He kept pushing.
What I'm hearing, this sounds crazy. This is what I'm hearing.
That Blueface just needed to
I
drop
gotta
the
do my
tough guy
research.
act, make the correction, and everything would have been handled.
Humanity
According to
lost
Adin,
is everything.
he was even willing to pay part of the money out of his own pocket, not even from the sponsor side. Then the rest would have been paid after Blueface posted that statement and cleared everything up publicly. But since Blueface refused to do that, the situation stayed stuck. And as of now, that has led to him not receiving any payment yet, which just keeps this whole situation going without any real resolution. Now at this point, the whole situation is just stuck in a messy standoff, and neither side looks ready to back down anytime soon. What started as a simple post.
You know what's crazy? My recorder's going like crazy speed. It's like, oh, you still recording this video? Oh my gosh. I'm like, yeah, I'm still recording this video. 95%.
My disagreement has turned into a full-blown public dispute, and it keeps getting bigger the more people get involved. You have Adin Ross standing firm, saying the contract was broken and that certain things needed to be corrected before any money gets paid. From his perspective, it is about protecting the brand, the sponsors, and the future of these events. Then on the other side, you have Blueface and his team making it clear they feel like they are being treated unfairly. They are looking at it like the work was already done, the fight happened, and the payment should not come with new conditions added afterward. And the longer this plays out online, the worse it looks for everyone involved. People are picking sides, other creators are chiming in, and potential fighters are watching closely to see how this gets handled. Because at the end of the day, this is bigger than just one fight now. It is about trust, business, and how deals are handled when things go left. And right now, there is still no clear resolution in sight, just more tension, more reactions, and a situation that keeps getting more complicated by the day. And later that same night, things got even louder when academics actually got Whack 100 and Adin Ross on the phone together. But instead of clearing anything up, it just turned into chaos real quick. They were talking over each other, raising their voices, going back and forth, with no real structure at all. It was hard to even follow what was being said because nobody was really letting the other person speak. And on top of that, they kept drifting off topic. So it did not really add anything meaningful to the situation. So yeah, that call did not solve anything. No agreement was reached, no middle ground was found, and there was still no clear answer on how Blueface is supposed to get paid or how they are going to handle these accusations about the fight.
Yeah, there's Adin in his zesty mode. Look how skinny he was. Look how skinny he was. Oh my gosh. Look at him in his zesty gear.
Being rigged. At that point, it just felt like more noise instead of progress. So honestly, there is no reason to even focus too much on that clip. Now the internet is completely split on this situation. Some people are saying Blueface should have just followed the contract and avoided all of this. Others are saying Adin should just pay him regardless, because the longer this drags out, the worse it looks for the brand. But one thing is clear, this situation has gotten way too messy. And one point that Adin made during that heated call actually stands out. He said this whole thing only went public because of Blueface and Whack 100. And looking at how everything played out, that might have been the biggest mistake of all. Because now, instead of handling it privately, everything is out in the open. And it is making both sides look bad at the same time. At the end of the day, it really feels like nobody is going to come out as a winner in this situation. The longer this drags on, the more it starts looking like it could turn into some unnecessary legal battle that honestly could have been avoided. And a lot of it just comes down to pride, ego, and not wanting to look bad in front of social media. Nobody wants to back down, nobody wants to admit fault, and that is exactly why things keep getting worse instead of getting resolved. Hopefully it does not go that far, because once lawyers get involved, everything changes, and it becomes a whole different situation. But that is just how it looks right now from the outside. But honestly, the only opinion that really matters here is yours. I want to know what you think about all of this.
Right.
So go ahead and drop a comment down below and let me know. Who do you think is in the wrong here? Is it Blueface?
What I'm hearing, this stuff don't sound good from what I'm hearing. From what I'm hearing in this video, what you're talking about, it don't sound like it's great.
Is it Adin Ross, or do you think both of them played a part in making this situation blow up like this? Let me know what you are thinking. And if you want to stay up to date with all the latest drama like this, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video so you do not miss anything coming next. If you are new,
All right,
hit
fam.
that subscribe button and tap in. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers and getting
Man,
closer
we got
every
collab,
day.
man. We got
And
collab, me and you.
that
You're a
is it for
rising
this
star. I'm a
one.
rising star,
I will
Rob.
catch you in the next one.
Fam, we got collab. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. See y'all. Bye-bye.